Hello everybody, welcome to the last part of rebuilding a car. We're still working on the Ford GT40. Like I said, this is part 3, last part. It's going to be kind of a short one. We're just going to be doing body work and getting her painted up and sell it off. I still have the amount written down that the vehicle was initially worth before we started our build, and so we're going to be comparing notes and see how well we did on that spectrum. So give us a second and we'll be over to the shop. Alright, and we're now back in the shop. So car's pretty much sitting where I had it at. I did move it and put the parts on it to take that screenshot for the starting image, and it's also the ending image as well. And then I put it back over here, pulled the body parts back off just so we could finish up. Didn't strip everything, obviously, only took off what we had to take off before. So I got up this morning. I didn't finish up last night, it got late, and so I waited till this morning. I got up this morning, and while I was doing breakfast and whatnot, I did another complete build on another vehicle that I had parked over there. I don't think you guys seen it, but anyhow, I did that, and while I was working on that truck, it was actually an S10, it was a mod, I remembered something. You know, we put this motor together, and the thing that I forgot to do, we forgot to put oil in the old girl. You can sell it without oil, but I mean, come on, let's just go ahead and add to the realism. You gotta have oil in it. So, oh, that looks like it's full now. And just for the realism's sake, we can pull the dipstick, and just a hair over full. I think it'll be okay. So, so what we're gonna do, we've done pretty much building the motor. We've replaced a whole lot of parts here. So what we're left with is body condition. There was a couple other things that we forgot to do, and I normally do this right off from the start, and I completely forgot about it. So the thing we need first is we need to grab our welder. And welders can only be taken, the welder can only be taken, I'm sorry, to lifters. You got to do it at the lifter. And there it is right there. And basically what the welder does is it cleans up the frame. Now the frame isn't too horrible on this car, but for sake of doing work, yeah, we want to make it as nice as can be. So put that back real quick, and as you see, it cleaned it up a little bit. A lot of the parts that were not going to be taken off of it, the frame and so on and so forth. That's all the welder does. So let's move the car into the garage entrance area, parking spot. And now that the car is there, another thing that I forgot to do is I forgot to clean the interior. So we have a little detailing cart. We'll move that over there, and gonna clean up the interior. You know, the car was in really good shape for the most part, so we're not going to see a big difference on this one. So that's pretty much that on that. So let's get that, put that away. So that's what we have there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to strip the rest of the body parts off the car. Anything that comes off, we'll get to that door later. Get the windows out of it. And that door. I believe that's all the body parts that was really left. Sometimes there's, especially on mods, you'll find like little fender panels down along the bottom. This is not a mod. This is just a straight up, actually it's part of the, it's a DLC actually, it's not even part of the baseline of the game. So while we're here, we are going to go into interior mode. We're going to grab these two. And what we're going to start with is we're going to repair everything we can. Interior is not repairable. Windows are not repairable. So that's kind of a downside. I actually thought that interior, if anything, I mean, I get the steering wheel not being able to be repaired, but maybe the seats. I mean, come on, there's upholstery shops. But, you know, they make us buy it new, right? the wrong one. Alright. So we're going to put everything back on it for the most part. Things that we can't fix, obviously we're not going to put those on, like the headlights. We can put the mirrors back on. Put that door back on. Oh, I don't see a place for a front license plate on this car. Grab that door. Mirror. Whole rear cam shell. Now we don't have the window. I don't think I have a good one. No, it's not a good window. I think the one thing I did notice is that we had a taillight that was almost brand new. Yeah, look at that, 99%. And I'm almost tempted to do it, but like I said before, I wanted to do a 100% rebuild. That's going to end up getting sold. And license plate, we are going to purchase a new one. We're not going to use the one that came off here. So what I'm trying to figure out is license plate here real quick, and just bear with me a minute. I'm going to look at the status here. Because I was working on another one, and it said front license plate, and it was a pain to find. Now right there, it's hard to read because it's grayed out because it's missing item, but it says rear license plate. I don't see any front license plate, so that's good. We're only got to buy one plate. That's no big deal. So let's we have a GT40 here, so let's hit our tablet up. We will start in the body shop. Now I will use typing to search for what I'm looking for here because it doesn't take that long to load. So we need a window, another window, more windows, headlight, taillight, headlight, taillight, window. Alright, now what I forgot to look at, oops, that was my fault. What I forgot to look at in our inventory is we're going to need 2 of those seats in the wheel. I know I don't have any of those. I actually was looking at body parts and stuff like that while I was in my shop earlier just to see what I had. So interior, everything's GT40, so that's fine. We'll just put GT. So we need 2 seats and 1 wheel. Whoops. Man, I'm really goofing around today, aren't I? Plates. I am originally from Florida, so I usually throw a Florida plate on here. And we're just going to call this a GT40 plate. So, let's go ahead and finish putting this stuff all back together. All new, fresh looking parts. Back to normal view. Put our new interior in here. To be honest with you, those seats in my opinion don't look very comfortable, but we'll go with them. Alright, so let's check our status again of our car here. And everything is at 100%. The car is completely rebuilt. So our very last thing to do is we got to put a fresh coat of paint on this girl. The paint all looks good, but I mean, we're going to be selling it anyways, so let's just go ahead and make it look really good. Oh, forgot to close the door on the way in. And we left the door open on the car. So what's pretty cool is that you can paint these just about anything you want. You can do all kind of crazy stuff. Now we're not going to mess with that here really. We might do like something custom later on. You're going to get the most money when you sell something if you go as completely stock as possible minus upgrades. And so what it boils down to in paint is factory paint. You know, that there's what's going to make your best money. So squirt a little paint on it. So let's move this car back to our entrance. So one thing we might want is a nice little photo of this. And you'll be able to see how I do this. You go into photo mode, and it gets rid of all that background, that you know, my money and all that garbage. So it's not bad, and that gives me a nice little screenshot of the car for later on. And just for fun, I think we gotta go take this out and have fun with it. So the question is, the test track is not a whole lot of fun. It's more or less just a test track. I've never been to the racetrack. Let's go to the racetrack. Nothing about it. When you're at the track, there's not much viewing you can do. There's some different camera views. It's being a little slow getting around in the cameras. I always do this from outside views, so thing is squirrely, isn't it? We may not include this. Okay, so the whole track test didn't go as I thought it would go. This thing is squirrely. It could probably use some better tires. I don't remember what these are exactly, but they're kind of like a standard tire. They're not a race slick or something. That would be what you need for that track. So anyways, that was kind of fun, but a little unexpected. So anyhow, with that being said, we're gonna get ready to end this here. So when we initially started the build, the car was in decent shape. It was worth $51,287. Now it's worth $99,360. Plus, we're going to get a $19,000 and change bonus for restoration. So, sell car. So, $119,000. I'm gonna write that down, and then I can do the math afterwards. 232. Alright, so it is now sold. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and shut this down. I do appreciate you hanging out. From what I calculated here, it looks like we probably made about 70 grand or so off that car. We used a lot of our own parts, which really helps out with cost of everything. So with that being said, what we're going to do is I'm going to do another build. What we're going to do is I'm going to do another video. We're going to go probably hit the barn, hit a barn sale. See what kind of barn find we can find. We'll write down what we paid for the vehicle. We'll keep better tabs on how much money we spend in, say, repairs. We'll still use as much parts as I already have. And we'll also keep track how much money we spend buying new parts as needed. Depending upon what we buy, we may take it and go hot rod with it, or we might not. So with that being said, that is going to be the end of our 3-part series of rebuilding a car. And that was on the Ford GT40. And I guess we'll see what the next one brings. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out. If you're new to my channel and you haven't seen some of my other videos and you enjoyed what you've seen, feel free to subscribe. You can also go back and watch the other 2 parts of this series and see what you think about that. Might be a little bit boring. Probably going to do the next series a little bit different. Matter of fact, it might just be a 1-part. We're going to see. So with that being said, y'all have a good one, and I will catch y'all next time. See ya.